So this one is a mask, and behind it is a shoebox that's glued onto it, so that your head can be in it. And this one was its main feature was it had elastic so that the mouth could move up and down.
Uh-huh.
And the main purpose of the puppet in one of the shows that it was in was representing a menace of society, and that it would eat all these signs that came on stage, like social justice or like unity or democracy, and he'd eat them, and then eventually got to the point where he was so full, so overpowered that it led to his own death in a way. He just kind of started like stumbling around and then fell. And then we had the puppeteers all come on, and as they gathered around, so I kind of took off the mask, almost like a rebirth. It was kind of showing that once taken off that mask and stuff, how easy it is to realize the evils that people have done. Then the puppeteers picked up the mask and kind of walked it off stage like it was almost like a funeral or something like that.
That's a good way to bring that across, you know.
Yeah.
It's quite involved as well. Talk about the gentleman right there.
This one?
The everyman.
Yeah, this one was, I'd say I made this when I was maybe 11, 12. Used as an extra to keep the plot moving. He helped the main character realize he was late for his magic gig, which the whole show was featured around this magician trying to make it in the magic world. His stories would come to life through the puppets. And this was just one of the boys in the show, and it was based actually off of, this was one of my first kind of 1, 2, 3 puppetry puppets. And you can see it was a couple years before, and the detail definitely grew. And
you've got a almost front facing versus a profile.
Yeah, and
also the details different, the more detailed hands.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, also I think you've done a really good job of conveying movement within this one. It's a static. It's a static puppet, but he looks like he's in movement.
So yeah, it's cool looking back on these kind of earlier puppets and seeing the kind of the start of and how they inspired a bunch of other ones that have been made recently. This is our newest puppet that is going to be for this upcoming spring's show. And it's taken from an older puppet from last year, and this one's going to be more robotic, and it's going to be, I believe, a kind of an alarm robot. This puppet will kind of jump out of a box with a kind of police siren on it and alert all the other kind of robots and workers what's being done, and almost kind of helping to show how inhumane some actions are in law and police forces, taking away the human aspect of, say, police officers and law enforcement, and showing that some of these actions, they're almost, programmed like a robot to do it. So you can kind of see I tried to make radio waves out of this fabric that was glued in. So it just looks like that.
Oh yes, okay.
Just a robot. And then it has some
dials in the back, yes.
And stuff like that.
Is this also to demonstrate the changes for automation and the changes that are currently occurring?
There's definitely going to be. It was our most recently made puppet.
Wow.
And it was for the Hillsborough Riverwalk. We were commissioned to lead it with a light up puppet, which is something that I've never made before. And so it was a really awesome kind of experience.
Oh, look at that. Now, did you make this one, or did you?
Yeah.
It was a community effort. Okay.
Yeah, I made it with the help from another puppeteer.
Okay.
Another puppeteer helped cut out some of the puppets, and also helped with kind of the dimensionality of the face. And it was, so we kind of she helped by cutting out and doing kind of the original sketches based off of my designs that I drew.
Okay.
And then also she came up with this awesome idea of making one part, but then having an overlay of cardboard be the crescent moon.
Yes.
And so this one's a different layer held up by bottle caps glued to the base, and so it kind of gives it an extra dimensionality of it. I always collect a lot of plastic and stuff like that I could reuse, and the bottle caps were kind of the right height to use, so it wasn't so separated from the face, because in the end it's one whole thing.
Okay.
But we wanted it to kind of pop out a little, especially that it then gave us the chance to wire the lights just right underneath it, so it kind of gave it an extra dimension. We got a lot of compliments on it. A lot of people thought it looked really awesome, and
it does, yeah,
and cool, and so that was super awesome.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it's super cool to talk about all these past creations that we've made as a group.